Food swaps have quickly become one of the top ways to cut calories without drastically altering your lifestyle. Many people find this to be a great weight loss tactic because it does exactly what other diets don't. It lets you eat what you want and when you want. This all may seem like it's too good to be true, but it really comes down to just being mindful of your calorie intake and taking a moment to think before you chow down. Food swaps are an important part of calorie deficit diets, and the end goal is simply to wind up burning more calories than you take in. With all of that in mind, we've poured through tons of advice from experts and come up with this list of 11 ways to cut thousands of calories with some healthy food swaps. Number 1. Toss the second bun from your sandwiches. Let's be honest in saying that the nutrition found in your standard slice of bread isn't going to be sustaining anyone except maybe a mouse. That's why a lot of people are tossing the second slice of bread when making themselves a sandwich for lunch. This trend is actually pretty old, with reports of people eating sandwiches open-faced dating all the way back to the turn of the 20th century. By eating your sandwich open-faced, you're saving anywhere between 100 and 200 calories with every sandwich, which adds up considering that sandwiches are one of the most popular lunch options in the world. A second genius component to the topless sandwich is that by eating it with a knife and fork instead of your hands. The process actually takes long enough, you may start to feel full well before you would in the traditional way. This is an easy way to cut your calories long term, and it may just be refreshing enough of a change to make eating sandwiches exciting again. Number 2, swap out chips for nuts. The appeal of chips is clear to understand. There's just something about the saltiness and crunch of a potato chip that makes it worth all the empty calories you're undeniably taking in. Unfortunately, if you're looking for a food to cut out of your diet completely in order to be more healthy, chips are one of the first ones on the chopping block. The next time you're looking for a salty treat without all the sodium, grab a handful of nuts instead. While it may not seem like the most exciting option, it has tons of health benefits, mainly that eating nuts often can drastically lower your chance of heart problems down the line. According to Johns Hopkins Hospital, nuts in their own right are somewhat high in calories, but are a great option to replace potato chips, which house not only calories but dangerous trans and saturated fats too. Mindfully eating a handful or two of nuts will not only satisfy your appetite, but also stop you from needlessly eating hundreds of calories with chips. Number 3, switch mayo out for mustard. Man, are there a lot of hidden calories inside what seems like a harmless sandwich. Countless dieters have found this out the hard way, but that doesn't mean that you have to quit sandwiches cold turkey. No pun intended. Throw out that high-calorie mayo for spicy mustard, and you could be saving almost 100 calories with every sandwich you make. Spicy mustard usually has 0 calories per tablespoon, while mayo is usually around 90 to 120 range, making it an easy choice to switch condiments. Number 4, go for salmon instead of steak. Red meat has a lot of nastiness to it, despite it tasting divine. It's so good, in fact, that many Americans flat out refuse to swap it out no matter how many dietitians and doctors may try. A great swap, especially if you're at risk for heart disease, is to swap out a steak for a salmon with a steak cut. You're going to get a ton of very good for you omega-3 acids, and you won't be getting the bad kind of cholesterol that comes with steaks, hamburgers, and hot dogs. While many turn their nose up at swapping red meat, adding the right amount of seasoning to a piece of salmon can make it delicious in its own right. On top of that, salmon is very filling and can help you cut out literally hundreds of calories every time you want to grill out. Number 5, do corn tortillas, not flour tortillas. The next time you're doing a taco night, spice things up with corn tortillas instead of flour ones. The typical flour tortilla has almost 200 more calories than its corn counterpart and has less fat as well. This option is gluten-free and gives you a little touch of fiber too to round things out nicely. While 200 calories might not seem like a ton, when you think about how many tacos most people pack away on taco night, a simple tortilla choice could be costing you 1,000 plus calories every Taco Tuesday. Number 6, ditch the energy drinks for tea or coffee instead. While they might not be as extreme, coffee or tea can save you hundreds or even thousands of calories a day depending on your caffeine intake. Energy drinks are full of empty calories, artificial sweeteners, and a bunch of stuff that is not very good for you to say the least. Try switching to tea or coffee, even if it has some creamer in it. For a much healthier experience, the switch may also give you a more classic boost of energy without the huge high and equally huge crash. This is because when you're crashing from energy drinks, you're not just losing energy from caffeine, but also from the high amounts of sugar crammed into each can. Number 7, eat dark chocolate instead of baked goods. If you have a sweet tooth, you're probably excited to find out that chocolate is an option to switch to, but that's exactly what experts recommend. Switching out your classic baked goods like donuts, cookies, and other grain-based desserts can easily save you thousands of calories over time and is healthier in other ways too. Dark chocolate has long since been linked to improvements in blood vessel function, mainly due to the cocoa part of it, when compared to baked goods that contain lots of oil, butter, and of course sugar. In moderation, which is the name of the game for cutting calories, dark chocolate is a great choice to turn to when you want a snack, especially in comparison to other dessert snacks out there. Number 8, go from pizza to spaghetti. Frozen pizzas take up so much space in the freezer section of grocery stores for a reason. People love to turn to them for a tasty, quick meal. While that may be true, the amount of calories, sodium, and processed nature of these meals would be enough to dissuade anyone looking for a healthier option. Let's face it, pizza just isn't very good for you, especially in the traditional way that it's found. That's why experts suggest switching over to pasta dishes like spaghetti instead. Making spaghetti at home takes only a handful of ingredients, and even if you add cheese in, you will be saving literally hundreds of calories from what you'd be getting from your standard pizza. Best of all is that spaghetti, like pizza, translates easily to a family dinner night in terms of portions and effort. This is a great way to cut out a ton of calories, especially how often most people turn to the iconic pizza when they are out of ideas for dinner. Number 9, toast up some bread instead of springing for cinnamon rolls. Bread is full of calories and is also found in many easy meal options. This makes it hard to cut out bread completely. And if you're not willing to take extra time to swap out, then the best option is to limit how you consume it. One such way is to stay away from rolls and stick to toasted bread instead. A cinnamon roll from Cinnabon has north of 900 calories per roll, while 2 simple toasted pieces of cinnamon bread doesn't even reach 100. Of course, the cinnamon roll is going to taste better, but is it going to taste 9 times the calories good? That's for you to decide. But this is a classic healthy food swap for people wanting to kick their Cinnabon addiction. Number 10, pick plain yogurt next time. A lot of our guilty pleasure is to wake up with some yogurt that is clearly not good for us. Instead of relying on a company to doctor up your yogurt with frozen fruits and artificial sweeteners, choose a plain yogurt that is low in sugar. Then head to wherever you get your fruit from to start drawing up plans for your own personal yogurt. This is a way to shave calories surprisingly fast since most people eat a specific kind of breakfast for weeks, if not months or years at a time. If yogurt is your go-to choice for a meal after waking up, those calories can add up fast. Best of all, with this pick, it could end up creating an even better version of your yogurt, which is truly like having your cake and eating it too. Number 11, experiment with peanut butter powder. Your classic Jif peanut butter has almost 200 calories, clocking in at 190 calories per serving. While this may not seem like a lot, peanut butter has long since been considered the clever swap for chocolate and Nutella. But there's an even better way to make a difference. Toss out your Jif peanut butter and try something new like PB powder, which presses the peanuts to avoid 85% of calories from the nut itself. PB powder is almost 50 calories per 2 tablespoon serving, which is about 25% of the calories of traditional peanut butter. While this doesn't necessarily mean you should go crazy spreading this on everything, you could drastically cut your calorie intake by spreading this on your next PB&J or piece of sliced fruit instead. Did any of these healthy food swaps interest you? Leave a comment down below and let us know which one caught your eye. Also, don't be scared to share your own food swaps that you found on your weight loss journey. Here are 2 more videos you might find interesting. Feel free to choose the one you like. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share the video with your friends. And for more interesting videos on health, subscribe to the channel.